Welcome to season 2 of the Cherene Francis Show. I am so excited for the guests that we have this year. We have a great new production team and we're ready to inspire entrepreneurs to be in business and love the life they're in. Today we have Mouland, who was a previous and past gangster, drug addict, transformed into an entrepreneur that is mentoring, transforming lives, and teaching people about self-awareness and meditation so that they can have success and peace in their life. Wow, and so you went through this journey of, doing this type of work. And, you got caught up in some things, like what was happening beyond that?
Well, I got into, after I got addicted to the drugs that I was smuggling in and handing over and selling to everybody.
Right.
I put myself in a position where I was kind of desperate. So that's when I started robbing people, just drug dealers. I would just go and take everything that they had and move on to the next person. So that was like the most dangerous thing that I did.
Was there fear in this? Like, what were the emotions? What was going through your head during this time? What was life like on a day-to-day living through that?
There was fear. There was always fear.
Yeah.
But I don't know, after a while you just get used to it.
Wow.
You become immune to it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So it was a lifestyle. And I know that, beyond that, it led to other drug abuse in your life.
Yes.
Can you share with us what happened there and how you actually got out of that?
Yeah, that's a funny story because I became addicted to cocaine very, very seriously for 3 years. And I spent about $400,000. I don't even know where it went.
Wow.
I came to one day and I was counting my money. I'm like, there's about $380,000 that I spent in the past 3 years, and I really didn't have anything to show for it.
Wow.
I finally came to the point where I realized that I needed help, and I reached out. I went to God bless her, I went to this rehabilitation place in Brampton, and I just walked in off the street, no notice, no anything. And she kind of gave me that realization that I was on my own. And I'll explain, because when I went in there, I told her, I said, listen, I need help. It was the first moment in my whole life that I admitted to myself that I had a problem.
Yeah.
So I was very proud of myself.
Yeah.
And when I went in there and spoke with her, she was very standoffish. She did not help me in any way. Which like I said later on in hindsight.
So this was a facility that would have helped you detox. You went in and they were...
It was a rehab clinic.
Wow, okay.
And she told me that I couldn't just walk in like this. I needed an appointment, I needed a referral, and I wasn't in a good state. So I had quite a bit of cocaine on me. So being angry and not understanding the situation,
right.
I just basically took it out and just slapped it on the table. I said, listen, I'm going to go do all of this right now and kill myself if you don't help me. Because I was honestly being honest.
Right.
At that moment, that's what I felt like doing.
Yeah.
Right? So at that second, she said, oh, really? And picked up the phone and called the police.
Wow.
And
so here you are, out of, knowing that you needed to change, you come and seek help, and this happened. So what happened after that?
I got chased. The police were there very quickly. I got chased. I ended up finding a little solitude on these train tracks that were off the beaten path. And I figured, okay, it's not my first rodeo. I'll sleep here tonight, and I'll wait till the morning, and I'll go home. So I was sitting on these train tracks, and I was thinking to myself, like, should I just stay here and let a train, like, just run me over? Like, that's where I was. And I was actually going to take out the cocaine to do some more. I was going to do a rail on a rail. And I was sitting there, and I'm looking at the stuff in my hand, and I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And then I realized what this stuff did to me in my life. And then it hit me. You were just selling this stuff to people. So by my hand, how much pain and suffering was caused,
Right.
From me doing this,
Right.
being the vehicle,
Right.
to ruin people's lives.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized that God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, gave me that lesson, made me feel, give me a taste of my own medicine.
Yeah.
Right? This is what you're doing to people.
Right. Right.
And that's the day that I it's probably still there in Brampton. I took that cocaine, I threw it in the swamp.
Wow.
And I never did it ever again.
So what, in that moment when it happened, what do you think went off inside of you? Why then? Why at that point in your life?
Divine timing. There's always divine timing in everything that we do. I believe I was supposed to go through all those things.
Yeah.
Or else I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you about all
Right.
the wonderful things that I do right now.
Right.
For
Yeah.
other people and on their journeys.
Right.
I wish I had somebody like myself now in my ear
Yeah.
back then, because I know that a lot of these things that I was making, a lot of decisions I made, I wouldn't have made them if I had that awareness,
Right.
presence.
So awareness and presence. I know backstage we were talking about all of the work that you do around meditation and tuning into your body and listening and hearing. And this incident was really that first moment of hearing.
Yeah.
Hearing something beyond yourself and, whatever you're connected to.
I got a real job. I was managing condominium corporations, spending time with my kids, disassociated myself from everybody who I used to do the criminal activity with. And I was doing good things. I wasn't doing bad things, but I was still miserable. And I was unaware. And it took a friend of mine, his name is John. He was really an acquaintance at the time, trying to get business in my condominiums that I managed. And he knew me, and he knew I was a positive, because I started my journey with a positive mindset.
Yeah.
That's all I knew. Just think positive, be positive, and have good people around me.
Right.
That's how I started my journey right
Okay,
there.
the new one.
I did that
Yeah.
for 5 years, working as the condo manager.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I was miserable. Right? We're at lunch, and he very graciously said to me, he's like, Wayne, I'm going to tell you something. Please don't get mad at me, but you look like crap. You don't sound yourself.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
Yeah.
And he made me think.
Yeah.
And become present in myself. And I sat back, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm miserable.
Yeah.
And I had no idea. So he says, well, what is it? What's the deal? So I said, okay, you know what? I thought about it, and I don't like my job. I'm not happy in my relationship, and there's something missing in my life. I don't know what it was. I always knew, even as a child, even when I was doing crazy, terrible things.
Yeah.
I knew I was sent here with a purpose.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
So him being a big Christian guy, and I'm all religions. If you ask me what religion I am, I'm every single one. But he was a big Christian guy. And he says, Wayne, you know what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you to go home, pray to Jesus for some guidance on what your life purpose is. So I'm like, okay, all right, that's what I'm going to do.
Yes.
I'm going to do that. I went home, I bought candles, frankincense. I did my research. Right?
Good.
And I went home, I did this little prayer, and I prayed to Jesus.
Yeah.
I prayed to Buddha, Allah. I even called out Casper the Ghost.
Okay.
I called on everybody. Can please somebody send me some direction on what my life purpose is? And I was excited.
Yeah.
I was excited. I felt like reborn, if you will.
Yeah.
And so I'm on the hunt. I'm looking for the signs because I know I just asked the universe for this sign. And it didn't take long, ladies and gentlemen. It was the next day.
Yes.
I'm sitting in my office. I'm listening to some music on YouTube, watching a YouTube video, and this ad pops up, boop, and it says, "Are you unhappy, stressed out? Try meditation." And right away, instantly, I was like, wow, this is it.
This is your
answer. I didn't say this.
How did you know that was your answer?
I felt it.
You felt it.
I felt it. You know what? You can know anything. You can think you know anything. But until you feel it, it doesn't mean anything. So I felt it. And I instantly watched this 5-minute meditation, guided meditation.
Yeah.
And the job I was in was very stressful.
Yeah.
And it immediately took the stress away.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, this is incredible. So I began researching meditation. And that's when I found all these wonderful related informations about, vibration, frequency, energy, manifesting things into your life. All these things that they don't teach us in school, which I was kind of upset about.
Yeah.
Which is one thing that we work with.
Yeah.
Movement to get
now you're doing that now. Yeah.
Implemented into early childhood education.
Wow. So you took this moment, paused, and you heard. And I love that because there was one thing you said, which was it didn't take long. Because I truly don't believe that when you ask that it takes that long to hear. You just got to be ready and willing to hear and receive the answer when it comes.
Ask and you will receive.
Yes. So here you are now, you dive deep into this meditation, these rituals of, really tuning in, listening, really increasing your vibration. So can you share with us now what that's doing, not only for you, but some of the other people and foundations and programs that you have put together?
Yeah. It's incredible. I've never been this happy in my whole life, to be honest. I do a lot of humanitarian work with organizations like Feed It Forward, Jagger Gordon, feeding homeless people. Anna Lopez for the $1 Million Smiles. We build playgrounds for children who have terminal illnesses and stuff to shine light in their lives in a dark time. Heroes in Black, I do work with homeless kids, the youth. There's so many different things that have branched out from the ECHO movement.
So this ECHO movement that you've created is really exciting because I know it's all about, many different people coming together and meditating during a particular time of day. Can you tell us what that, getting involved with the ECHO movement is all about?
So echomovement.ca is the site that people can go to get the meditations and to jump on board with the group synchronized meditations that we do. Facebook, we have a Facebook group, and Instagram and stuff like that. All the social media channels are covered. What it is just to basically bring awareness for people about meditation. But the main focus, the main reason why I created it was to have millions of people meditating the same guided meditation every day. Just short ones, 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
Right, at the same time, no matter where you're at on the planet.
Wow.
So we're sending out all this loving abundance for all energy, and it's going to echo back and manifest into reality here.
That's incredible. I love that because it's creating community, unity. Everyone is coming together. I truly believe that when people come together with the same intention, that there's just so much that can happen in terms of miracles. Welcome to the Cherene Francis Show. Today we have Natalie Cousins, who's a consultant to interior designers and real estate agents. I'm really excited to dive into her story today because she's going to be talking about how she was able to persist and have wild success, even though she had some curveballs come her way.
Yes, thank you so much for
Welcome, Natalie, to the show. I love the internet because we actually got connected online. Right. And we had a really good one-on-one talk about, being a mother, a wife, running a successful business. And I remember even asking you advice because at the time I was just having my little toddlers, my babies. Yeah. And so you have a wealth of knowledge because you're really all about how you can leverage systems so that you can step away from your business and do and take care of the things that matter. So can you, I know you came out the womb in business. Can you tell us, those vintage stories of you and your grandmother?
Yeah, so my parents are from the Caribbean, and when my grandmother first came to Canada, she was making Jamaican beef patties out of our basement. So at the age of 4, 5, 6, I was there helping my grandmother make these patties. She had to supply the 7-Eleven and make 5,000 patties a week. So I was literally birthed into my family business. Later it matured into a restaurant, and we owned a restaurant. So have been in business, if I could say so myself, at the tender age of 4.
Amazing. So it's in you. It's in your blood. And so I know you eventually end up getting a passion for interior design. Tell us more about that.
So essentially, I should have been a lawyer. My father wanted me to be a lawyer, but somewhere through the trials and tribulations, I ended up being fixated with space planning and moving furniture. So we had downsized from an 8-bedroom home to a 3-bedroom condo. So imagine being this teenager and always trying to figure things out and try to get things fitting in this small space. And I was like, there's just got to be a way that this furniture can fit in this apartment. So I shifted my craft. I started taking a lot of space planning and technology courses in high school. And essentially, I ventured off into architecture and then interior design.
Incredible. So it's so funny how life events can spark within you, a challenge that leads to something much more. And so you go to school, you come out, and you started your business at what age was it?
So I started architecture in 1998. Then I went into the interior design in 2000, graduated in 2002. And in 2003, started my own decorating firm.
Wow.
So as an interior decorator.
How young were you? Because I think that's just inspiring.
I was 23.
Yeah. Incredible.
So I was 23. And how it all started was you go to design school and you think that you're going to have this lucrative career. You're going to, it's kind of glorified like television type thing. And I went working for a few design firms after graduating, and they stuck me in the behind the scenes type situation.
And we know Natalie is not a behind the scenes kind of girl.
Not.
Yeah.
So, she was getting all the credit for the designs. I wasn't getting any credit. So I knew within myself that I definitely wanted to work for myself. Obviously, with the history of my family, it was just guaranteed that I had to be a boss. So,
for the, most people would say, stay in the company, learn more before you venture out, so you know the market, you know how to. What made you think that you could do it at that age and so early in your career?
Talk about that.
Yeah.
I knew that I wanted to be self-employed. I had all of the design in place. I knew how to decorate. I knew how to design, which is all I was doing for this lady.
Yeah.
But when you look at where you want to be in life and how quick you kind of want to climb that ladder, I knew that I wasn't going to get very far being in her company because it was a smaller firm, and the marquee was her name. So there wasn't going to be a junior designer, senior designer, or a partner being made at any time soon. So that's when I decided that I'm going to work full time, but I'm going to start my business on the side.
Nice.
And that's where the reality did kick in.
What I love about you, Natalie, is your confidence and how you show up. You show up as your brand, very, put together, a woman of excellence. Definitely, I know you have systems in place, right? Like, she just looks organized, right? I look like I could just fall into your arms and you'd put me well together. But behind all of those systems is, I believe, your confidence that's really assisting you in showing up in this manner. Can you tell us more on how, for those of us that are going out into business for the first time, how we can show up with the hi, my name is Natalie, and feel comfortable knowing that this is going to work? Because for some people, it can be a little bit of a challenge.
It is, and I would think that the first thing that you have to think of is your vision at the end. It's like judging a book by its cover. When somebody's selling their bestseller, what is the book cover? So you have to look at where it is that you're trying to go. And it's kind of like faking it till you make it, because we did talk about that. But in a sense, it's you have a vision in your head of what it is that you're working for and what it is that you're going after. So for me, I knew that image was everything as a designer. I had to look the part, I had to be the part, and I had to be able to sell myself in order to stand up strong against my competition. So it's just looking in the mirror, having that conversation with yourself and saying, you know, I am the best interior designer out there. There is nobody greater than me.
Yeah.
And just look at your I ams and say it and believe it and achieve it.
Amazing. And so you went on to have success early on. Can you share with us what was working for you and what was happening?
So in 2003 is when I decided to start my own business.
Yeah.
I went out networking. I started hosting networking events, and I started pounding the pavement. And in 2004, I launched my first big contract, which was working with a home builder.
Wow.
So with the home builder, I was able to use all three hats, basically. I was their new home sales representative, so that's how I birthed my real estate career. I was then doing their structural changes, so that's where the architecture came in. And then I was helping the clients do their interior finishes and their space planning for their units. So that's where my interior design hat came from.
Wow.
And so it was the best of both worlds, and it would lead to me decorating their individual homes. So it was very hard at first. I believe that I needed to come up with the procedures, I needed to come up with the policies and the procedures in order to have this say train line move smoothly.
Yeah.
And it was just me working, getting up every day, dedicating. I had no kids at the time,
Yeah.
so it was easy to burn the midnight oil and
Yeah.
get things done.
Yeah.
And I grew from there.
Wow. Now, when you talk about putting all that together, for the new entrepreneur, it can seem very overwhelming, right? What is your tips for, you know, really bringing in these processes and systems and really getting that business savvy?
Get a book and write down everything that you feel is going to get your business to where it needs to go from A to B. Look at all the pieces. You've got the top bun and you've got the bottom bun of the sandwich. What are the ingredients in the middle? And that's simply it. How are you starting your business and how are you ending it for each client? And that's really what I did. I took a book. I wrote down, this is what I want my website to look like. This is what's going to happen when I answer the phone. Once I answer the phone and I get the client on the phone, this is how I'm going to book the consultation. This is what I'm going to do when I get to the consultation.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to do at the consultation. This is what I'm going to do after the consultation. When I get home, I'm going to follow up with them. After I follow up with them, I'm going to get them to sign the contract, and the list goes on and on and on.
And that makes so much sense, and it makes it more simple. Just, you know, just kind of visualize what you want to see in your business, how you work with clients, how the client's experiences, how do you take them in, you know, see them out, generate, that's incredible. And so, you know, you've established this business and then all of a sudden something gets thrown into the mix.
Yes. So in 2006, I had my son.
Yeah.
My firstborn, and it was an eye-shocking, he wasn't planned. So here it was, I had vibrated into owning my own decor studio. I was having the builders send their clients to my office. It was a smooth operating machine, and then I found out that I was expecting. And so when life hits you with a curveball, it's like you've got to figure out what's going to be the next step.
Right.
And I think I did panic because I had no plan. I had no nanny. I had nothing. So I was relying on the daycare system.
Yeah.
And basically I would have to get everything done in between those hours. Those were the times that I could get clients, see them, and be done with them.
So like the
else.
9 to 5 or whatever.
9 to 6.
Yeah.
He had to be picked up for 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And so that's where the processes really came into play, because I was like, I can only do appointments on these days. I can only do consultations on these days, and the rest.
You mentioned a consultant success program, because I know, again, people might be like, oh my goodness, like I could never do that, or I can't even begin to think how I would implement systems and processes into my business. So you have this program that helps people do that. Can you share how you do that?
The program is the 90-day transformational blueprint. And what it is it just takes a new designer or a real estate agent, or an existing one who's burnt out.
Yeah.
And it walks them through how they're going to clean up their business in terms of their policies, their processes, and their procedures. And I teach them how to implement it.
Wow.
And what ended up happening was with Designers Walk, I was able to go there, teach this program in person. And the feedback was the information was great, but it was a lot of information to absorb in a full day seminar. So
Yeah.
that's how the course came about.
Yeah.
So it is 90 days,
Yeah.
and it walks you through, like I said, what to say the minute that the potential client calls your phone, how to brand your elevator pitch on the telephone with them, what to do at the consultation, what to do after the appointment, how to get the project going smoothly, what you do from the start to completion of your project. And then it goes as further as to your drip campaigns and your marketing, how
Wow.
to stay relevant to your client and have your audience while you're not working with them anymore. So I
That's
walk
incredible.
them through this full blueprint guide, and at the end they have a binder, and that becomes their business operation guide.
That's incredible. So truly someone that is a designer, a real estate agent, and this would, work
works
for
for
any consultant, coach, practitioner,
Yes.
whatever in business that's ready to just take their talent and jump into
Yes.
a already well laid out system that is going to set you up for success.
One of the best advice that I could give, whether you're a single mom or you're a mom that is has support at home, in terms of getting your business off ground with children in the home, is you have to start having systems in place. Like my household, they are familiar with the alarms on my phone. I have an alarm for homework. I have an alarm for dinner time. I have an alarm for bath time. And then in the morning, I have a main alarm. Then I have an alarm when they need to get walking. So it's very important that you have some sort of schedule in place, because
Yes.
every change takes 21 days for it to actually manifest and actually happen. And if you're trying to get your children to work with this new thing that you're doing, then you've got to be consistent with the same time that they bathe, the same time that they eat dinner, when they do their homework. And if even with a newborn, if you can get that newborn in bed at the same time every night and just follow systems, that's going to be the best thing, because once it's embedded in them, that's when your life is going to be easy. Like I work best when my kids are sleeping and the universe is quiet.
Yeah.
So the quicker that I can get them to bed to start doing what I have to do, that's the best thing for me. And have talks with them. I think that being a single mom or being a parent, because a mom cannot be replaced, having the conversations with your children about your work and where you're trying to go with life and the sacrifices that you're making, that is going to make your life a lot easier, so there's no resentment for your children towards you and thinking that you're neglecting them.
Yeah.
And include them in things that behind the scenes that can help them feel like they're contributing, so they don't think that you're always pushing
They're
them
a part
to
of it. I could testify to that, to be honest. I really started launching my business when I was pregnant. And let me tell you, my routines with my baby was like clockwork. I made sure I had them in the bath at a certain time, and it actually promotes a sense of wellness. They don't feel like they're being tossed into, they like are expecting what's coming up. And you're right about them being included. Like my daughter, she shoves the business cards that I get when I meet entrepreneurs in her backpack and says she's in business, right? So I love it because the kids, your children do want to be a part of it and what you're doing and feel like they're important in what you're building. So wow. Well, thank you so much for all your wisdom and your advice. It was great having you on your show, on our show. And yeah.